All right, so if you are here, then that means that you've watched the video about the quantum jumping and my quantum experience that I had. Um, I have my little buddy with me, my buddy, my baby on my hip. So I'm going to do this, and it's maybe a little bit awkward, but just bear with me and make sure you're paying attention to the details of it all and not so much about everything else. So, 1 second here, we're going to turn the camera around. All right, so here we have 2 cups, cup one and cup two. With cup one, it's going to be more or less what was and what the current situation is. And then in cup two, we're going to have this be the cup of the future, the cup of what you want to actually experience. Your experience is whatever you want it to be. So I want you to remember that. Be very clear and mindful, because this is where you decide what it is that you want to experience. It's up to you. Nobody can tell you what this is going to be. So be very clear. Sit and think on it before you actually do this process, because the current situation is already what it is. But this part, this is where you are co-creating exactly what you want. Okay? All right. So generally, there are a couple of different ways of how people do it, but I utilize it a little bit differently in a more therapeutic way. Okay, so we got cup A and we got cup B. So in cup A, or present, okay, we're going to write our story of what is going on, right? It can be anything about, it can be, let's talk about health, okay? Maybe your health is not the best. And maybe your finances are in shambles. This is just me writing out the ideas, okay? Maybe your relationship is not fulfilling. I did spell that wrong, but that's okay. Let's see, we got health, finances, relationship. Those are the top 3 things that people normally want to change in their life. So I'll leave it at that. So now you want to elaborate on this. Elaboration is so key when working with universal magic. So now that we have these done and written, you want to write your story out. Okay, current story. Remember, we're doing present. So my health is not the best. My health is not allowing me to do XYZ. So when doing any work, it's always important to give further explanation or elaboration using the who, what, why, when, where, how method, okay? And the methodology with this is something we learned in school, right? When we talk about who was the story about, what happened, why, when, where, and how. This applies to more than just reading a story, okay? Since this is a story, this applies, right? So you're going to make a claim to this. My health, which is the who, is not the best. What it is that you are experiencing. So maybe it's like my knees are not allowing me to walk very easily, okay? Why is it like this? Maybe I had an injury or something like that. When doesn't necessarily apply because this is current, right? Where doesn't either, unless it does to you. And then how is this something that, or how or what is something about this that you don't like? This is, again, elaborating. So you need to have a full drawn out something, a full drawn out story. Okay, so let's see. I think, I'm gonna write out a story and then I'll be right back. All right, so I had to go ahead and actually write out something that would apply to my life so that you guys can kind of more likely see what exactly I mean and where I'm coming from. My health. This is me owning it, meaning who. This is my health, and that what is also getting answered here. My needs give me the most trouble. All right. So I'm again doing who and what, right? And what happens with them? They crack and pop when I walk or run or jog, and when I climb the stairs. When is also here. When does this happen? All right. This bothers me because I can't enjoy my life or my children as much as I would like. Now we're getting into the how this is affecting your life. This also goes into the why you want this to change. Okay? All right. All right, so I've gone ahead and torn this out, and we're going to process that in just a moment. But first, we're going to go ahead and pull forward cup A, the present. And we're going to fill it up with water. Now, the power of this part is that water can be programmed, right? Especially with the power of intention. So this cup is acting as a vehicle for this water to transport the past or the present into cup B, the future. And I'm going to show you in just a second. All right, so first, be very clear with this part. You want to be very clear with how you're using this or writing out what your truth is in the present, okay? And once you've, proofread it and rewritten it, because your word is your power, your writing is, an amazing vehicle for truth. So now, placing with full intention cup A onto your proclamation of your present experience, your present reality, okay? Now, I will tell you that it's important to allow it to sit. Again, water is programming, and so is glass in its own way. So you place it directly on top of your story and let it sit. Let it absorb. It doesn't take long, but I do kind of recommend at least 30 minutes for the water to absorb the vibration of truth that I wrote on this paper. And so now we're going to go over here while this is setting. We're going to go over here to cup B. And so cup B. With cup B now, we are going to make this the future reality. All right? Now, this again is just focusing on health only. So now we're going to write our statement of truth. Okay? Statement of truth. All right? So this needs to be very clear and concise. So think about this. Think about it long and hard before you finish it. All right, so my future reality would be my health is magnificent. I am full of energy, and my knees are strong, healthy, and allow me to move with ease. I am thankful, health, and my great mobility provided by my knees. Okay? All right. So the reason why we are putting all of this here, this is the new statement, right? You're saying and you're stating what it is that you want to experience now. I'm saying that my health is great. I'm full of energy. My knees, I don't feel anything wrong with them. They're strong and they're healthy. They're allowing me to move and they're giving me mobility. So being very clear with what it is that you want with it, whatever you're asking for, needs to go here. Think about it long and hard. All right, so I went ahead and tore out the future reality page, and now we're going to process this. So I want you to take your cup and place it on top of your new written reality. And we're now going to take cup A, the present, and pour it into the new cup so that the water can now be programmed to the new future, the new written reality that we desire. All right? All right, of course. So now the last key part is not just leave it sitting there because that doesn't do anything, right? We got to drink it, right? So bottoms up. Make sure you're intentionalizing as you're drinking it that it's going to bring forth the changes that you desire. Daffy Duck now, the changes that you wrote in the reality comes to life for you immediately. So be clear with your thoughts when you're drinking it. If you have thoughts of doubt as you're drinking it, like, oh, I doubt this is going to work, I guarantee you it's not going to work because your mindset is already in doubt. So therefore, there's no room for it to happen for you. Okay. Of course, now with all magic doesn't mean that you have to actually utilize some force of energy. So pay attention. You may get someone that says, hey, these vitamins will help your knees. That may be the reality that you needed or knowledge that you needed to change your reality. So never forget that things will come to you in different ways and forms, and all you need to do is be in action, keep your ear to the ground, and make the magic happen for yourself. So love and light to you all. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you've tried this method, not the method you may have seen online, because this method is not exactly the same. If you've tried this particular method, then leave your comments below. Let me know what your outcomes have been. And if you have any other questions in regards to services I may have, or you want something from the Goddess Harmony store, check the links below and be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. And I hope to hear something wonderful for your life in the very near future. Love and light to you always. Capriel.